Thank you so much for joining us. It's all about the success blockers, and I'm revealing my special mystery guest, who happens to be, he's special to me because he's my husband. But we are going to be talking about success blockers. And Conroy, not only is he my husband, but he is also a very inspiring young man. And I'd like him to kind of share his story, his insights, and how he overcame, his fears and what his success blockers were and how he identified them and how he's been able to overcome them. So hopefully you'll leave tonight with some tips on how to unlock and unblock perhaps what's, the success blockers that are holding you back from achieving the life you want, because we all like to think we're in control of our destiny. And if we just work hard enough, and if we just have some clear goals, that we're going to fulfill our dreams. But maybe things aren't going smoothly as we'd hoped. And there's going to be times when you feel like you hit a brick wall. And it's not because you're perhaps doing something wrong. It's you're probably not doing anything wrong. You just need to dig deeper, and we all have blocks to success. And that aren't even obvious at all. So hopefully we can help unravel those tonight. So I'm going to give a warm, special welcome to Conroy, who is my husband. So thank you for joining me.
Hello. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to it, actually, because I think I've got some great insights that I would like to share on my journey. And hopefully this could inspire someone to take action and to know that, it's okay to feel how you feel, but know that there's strategies and tips out there that you can apply that will help you to overcome the things you're going through.
Absolutely. So Conroy, just, tell the audience, I know a lot about you, but tell them a little bit about Conroy. Who is Conroy?
So I'm Conroy. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a son. I'm a boxer, and I'm also a businessman. So combine all those things together, there's many success blockers along the way that I've had to overcome. But, hopefully we can share some of that along this journey tonight.
So recently, I want to talk about something that happened so recent as last weekend, in fact, because Conroy actually got back. You got back in the ring.
Yes.
In the boxing ring, that is, after being out of it for 4 years.
4 years I've been out the ring. I think the decision to step away the first time was accumulation of things. At the time, our son was very young, and, waking up very early, not seeing him first thing in the morning. Then I'm out in the evening again, training, 3 times a day sometimes. So, and also the joy of it was sucked out of the sport because of other things that was going on out of my control. And sometimes, it's good to take a step away from something, just to reassess and to make sure that it's something you want to continue. But within that time away from the sport, you had the doubts that kicks in, and, you go back to old ways of thinking that, maybe you're not good enough, maybe you're too old, or maybe you're too small. Like I've been told many, many times, to box as a heavyweight. I was told that so many times.
And what did you think at the time?
What did I think at the time? I took those beliefs on. I took those beliefs on for many years until I understood that, once you understand that the mind is in control and you can take control of your mind, you can accomplish anything. And, an amazing story. I was told even by my coach, I was too small to be a heavyweight. So I used to always have to drain myself down to get down to the next division. And I actually lost in that division. And I remember the following year, he said to me, I came back off training camp, been out the ring for a few months, came back a bit heavy, and he wanted me to go back down to the same division. And I actually said, no, I'm going to stay at this division. I'm going to train really hard, and I know I can win this tournament. And I actually stuck by my guns, and I won in that division 12 years ago. So I won the national title at heavyweight. And, so many years, if I'd listened to that statement, which I did for many years before, and continued to listen to that, I would have never achieved the things I did. So it was amazing to go back.
So last weekend, let's talk about that. Tell the viewers a little bit about last weekend.
So last weekend, I stepped back in the ring after being out for 4 years, as I explained the reason why I stepped away. But within that time, you know, the blockers I had was the fact that I'm older, I'm 4 years older. You know, I haven't been in the boxing arena for so long. So going back and learning how to, you know, get around and maneuver myself around the ring, but also losing the weight as well, and to be hit again, you know, to be conditioned your mind and your body to take the punches. So that so many success blockers that was stopping me going into the ring. But
So fear being a big one.
yeah, absolutely. But knowing that I needed to take action to overcome that fear and those feelings was one of the biggest achievement, I think, by going back in the ring. You know, I think it just taught me that although I felt those feelings, by taking action and stepping in the ring, you know, helped me to overcome those fears. And I'm super excited to continue that journey now.
Wow. So you went back in the ring and, you know, what was the result?
Well, the result was not the one that I wanted, but I didn't get the W, but I got an L. And I say the L because I learned a lot from it. It's a lesson for me. And the lesson was, the first thing was conquering that feeling of fear of all the negative feelings I had in emotion, but also the fact that I was actually good enough, and I am good enough to be in this ring. So learning what I needed to do differently was one of the biggest takeaway from that competition. And yes, I think I'm ready to kind of step forward again and pursue that career.
Wow. So, you know, the following day you were back in the gym, Conroy. You
Yes.
were, you know, the fight, and I think his coach was expecting him to have a couple of days off, and there you were Sunday morning back up in the gym, even more determined. And I think, you know, seeing you and seeing the impact of that loss, that L, not the loss, the learning, the impact that had on you was, I think, one of the best things that could have happened to you, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Because for a lot of reasons, I think if you just come home with a win, you know, it's about also what we're teaching our son. For you coming home and having that loss is actually to say it's okay to lose. And here I am back trying again, back in the gym, first thing in the morning on the Sunday, and even more determined. I think if you'd come home with a win, you'd become complacent.
Absolutely. And I think that was one of the biggest thing also, you know, the journey back. Initially, when you lose, you're gutted because you know you put so much work in and you want to win, because you don't go into competition to just turn up in second place. So the initial response was, you know, I actually broke down crying because I wanted to bring the trophy. I wanted to say to my son, yes, I won this tournament. But after talking, you know, a good 20-30 minutes, and we had a good debrief about the performance, and then watched the replay of the fight and realized actually for somebody who's been out the ring for so many years, and then stepping back in to face a national champion. I didn't know he was the national champion the year last year. So going in, not only with being a division above, a heavyweight, that everyone's done too small to be, going in with a top national champion and coming up, you know, second, you know, just shy of winning, because I was in the fight, but also taken away from that actually, you know, my reaction and my response after that loss was more important to me than actually winning that fight, because I think it taught myself that actually you've got something deep within you that you can do anything you set your mind to. And also the message I was sending to my son after the fight was also quite important, because, you know, yes, we can win, but also it's how you cope when you lose. And how I responded was like Michelle said, I was back in the gym, and I was actually quite in a good space, which normally 10 years ago, if that happened 10 years ago, I'd have been in pieces for months. I would have never been able to, you know, let it go. But to be able to have that feeling of like contentment, it was okay to lose and I'm ready to go again. And there's no ill feeling in my body. I think that's one of the biggest, for me, biggest growth in myself, to overcome those things so quickly and to bounce back.
So how can, you know, the new Conroy versus the old Conroy 10 years ago, who would have been in a mood for months and you'd have harbored that disappointment, you'd have harbored that ill feeling of that loss, but you don't now, you're really at peace with what happened last weekend. How did you get to
I got one
become?
word for that. It's because I know that I'm okay just the way I am. And I
That's
feel,
more than one word.
well, it is more than one
Or
word.
mindset.
Yeah. But also knowing that I'm okay the way I am and I'm okay with myself, and also the mindset applied as well has helped me to overcome that setback so easily, and to be at ease with it, and to know that actually it's a lesson, and you can either choose, you can either be happy or you can be sad about it. And I chose to be happy and take the lessons from it and use it as a positive to bounce back.
So in your boxing now, you're now going forward for the national championships.
Yes.
For 2024. And this is an opportunity. I guess you looked at that as a sparring opportunity.
Yes, because I hadn't had no sparring. I think the odds was against me from the get-go, but you only see these things in hindsight, and like you said, it's prepared me now for the tournament that's coming up. And I think fortunately he will also be in that tournament to give me an opportunity to get my revenge as well. Redemption. And I'm super excited. We've changed how we're going to approach it. So there's lots of lessons taken from that competition.
Okay, so there's another really inspiring thing that you've inspired me to get my butt back in the gym, really, because I've been back in the gym now since November. I'm on this journey for my own personal goal. But do you have a picture? Have you got the picture?
I do.
So Conroy has been working so hard on his body transformation, and he was always in the gym. He's always been a gym, enthusiastic, fanatic. And he had some results from the doctor, and the doctor told him that he was borderline obese, borderline diabetic. And he's like, what? Do you know who I am? I'm in the gym every day. How on earth can that be? And you were living a lifestyle of, well,
I think complacency. I think you realize, I think for me it's just, I got myself into a state where I was just so complacent about everything. I was eating what I wanted, my output was very, very minimal. And I gained
focus.
Yeah, and I gained quite a lot of weight. I think I gained, since boxing, I think 4 stone. But you don't see it because it happens so slowly. And this is the thing that people sometimes, when you've gained weight as well, people try to lose it so quickly, forgetting that actually it's taken years to gain that weight. So it will take time also to shed that weight.
I'm going to just show a picture to the camera of what Conroy looked like. There's a picture here. Oh, I think messages are coming through, but a picture here. Can you see that, TJ, Lindsay?
Yeah, I can see that.
So there's one. There's front on.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
And then where's that one?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
You've lost so much weight. You've done so well, Conroy.
so he's gone from that to being told by the doctors he is, borderline diabetic, borderline obese for his weight, and he's saying I'm in the gym every day, to transforming his body to that to get him in the ring on Saturday. So, if you want to know how he did it, you want to learn more, we are putting a whole complete health section into our platform. So under the health, there'll be a whole presentation that Conroy will deliver on exactly what he's doing and what he's done and what he's continuing to do, because habits, you changed some habits, didn't you?
Absolutely. So I know in terms of like eating habits and exercise, those are key components. But for me, the most important thing was the mindset shift, with not just the eating, but everything I was consuming on a day-to-day basis. For us, we do a lot around mindset, but it's the whole component. It's everything that encompasses that makes it work. And I neglected my health and fitness, and I was putting a lot of time into mindset, and I neglected those side things as well, which I think, like you said, it's the whole mindset for me that was the big thing that helped me to change everything else.
I think the doctor saying to you, you're borderline diabetic, gave you the kick up the backside to say, I need to take stock here and I need to do something different, because if I keep on doing what I've always done, I'm going to keep, results don't lie.
Yeah.
The doctors, the results, the blood tests don't lie. So yeah, that was a massive shift. So a huge congratulations on your body transformation. I'm loving it. And I'm just working on getting my body there too. But it goes to show that, thoughts and actions, they must become synced with each other to become a habit. Your thoughts and actions. And do you know what? The problem with most people, this is a great success blocker, because if you want to be great at anything, you must first clearly understand exactly what you want. And most people don't know what they want. That's the problem. So they just live day to day to day to day, doing the same old thing with no real clear focus. It was the very clear focus you just shared, Conroy, that I think has produced these radical results.
Absolutely. Because like you said, I was going to the gym. I was doing all those things.
You go to gym every day. I'm thinking, what were you doing when you look like that? Come on, Lindsay. I think you're a PT.
What was I doing when I was going to the gym?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, going back to what I said, is that mindset shift to be aware of everything around what I was consuming on a day-to-day basis. I think once the doctor said those things to me, it did give me a massive boost to say, actually, you need to get yourself sorted. But also my son when he saw a picture of me when I was boxing, he saw my six-pack and he's like, Daddy, where's your six-pack gone? I was like, within the space of a week, I had those comments. I was like, I need to get myself sorted.
So his six-pack was inside out at that point. It was screaming out.
And also, I think the motivation of, people around you as well is also important. Being around an environment that helps you to become the best version of yourself, it's a whole component of things, and I'm not here just to say, it's just mindset. Yes, mindset is where it starts, but there's also actions, there's also environments, then it's also the support mechanism. It's all of those things that really, really help you to get to where you want to get to. And I'm grateful to have that support mechanism and those, those systems around me that helps me.
So, feel free to chip in and ask questions, raise your hand and ask any questions if you want to. But remember, if you want to be great at anything, you must first clearly understand exactly what you want. And then when you've identified exactly what you want, you then need to condition your mindset to take focused action. And you definitely did that. But we're going to be putting a presentation together. And you spoke briefly about network. The other component of our platform, there is a whole section on network and what you do in your social time and who you're hanging around with and the environment you're in, why that's important. So that's why that's a section as a standalone on our platform. But it's important just to take action, just take the first step.
Absolutely, because mindset, just having the right mindset and just thinking about something is not enough. When I had those thoughts about stepping back in the ring, for many, many years, it wasn't going to happen until I step into the ring. And that's when I feel like I've conquered all those feelings, all those doubts, all those fears, all those, negative emotions that I held on for so long by stepping in that ring. So action is one of the key things. Yes, starts with thoughts, but then the action has to follow. And that's how you then overcome those feelings of doubt and all the negative emotions that stops us.
And studying successful people and studying people with little success or no success, successful people live life by a set of principles, and those with little or no success lack focus and unconsciously allow their success blockers, whatever they are. It could be procrastination, could be fear, could be fear of failure, fear of rejection. It could be, I don't have the time, those kind of excuses. And they unconsciously allow those success blockers to get in the way of what they want. Or they'll say, I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow comes, and then before you know it, 365 days have gone by and another year's gone by. And you're still doing the same thing. But, we've been given two greatest gifts, mind and time. We all are given the same amount of hours in the day, and we're all given the greatest gift of a mind. And it's our choices, the choices we make on a day-to-day basis, that can help you on the path to where you want to be, or can
Keep it where you are.
keep you where you are
Yeah.
and hinder you. So, you know, we all have the same amount of time. We all have 24 hours in the day. And how many people then say, no, you know, getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning is no fun for me.
Or do you set the alarm for 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and you press the buzzer as it goes off? For
And
me,
snooze.
yeah, for me, I'm when that buzzer goes off at 6, I'm out in the gym. So for me, is commitment. I'm committed to getting myself in the best physical shape. I'm committed to live a long, healthy life. I'm committed to have the best physical, mental, emotional health I possibly can. So to me, it doesn't seem like a chore because it's something that I'm committed to do. So that's when the discipline for me steps in.
I think that's what it is most difficult for lots of people. They will say it's the self-discipline is so hard, and that is their success blocker. It's that self-discipline and feeling overwhelmed and how to get started and get that self-discipline started.
All you
What
have
would
to
you suggest for people?
Yeah, so all you have to do, TJ, I mean, there's a big thing between discipline and motivation. It's not motivation that's going to get you the outcome, it's discipline. And how do you become disciplined? Because you can feel overwhelmed by how much weight we've got to lose, or how much money we've got to put more into the bank, or how much more we've got to earn, or whatever the thing is that we want to focus on. And the first step is just taking that first step. You know, there's that saying, isn't there? You don't have to do the whole staircase. You just take one step at a time, chunk it back as to what you want into manageable size chunks, and just take that first step. And then when you take that first step, when you go and have a workout, you don't want to come back and eat a bar of chocolate. Or perhaps that's what you were doing when you were going to the gym. You were coming back compensating, going, well, I've worked out, so I can have that Copperberg.
Yeah.
Or I can have that meal, that big meal tonight.
Absolutely.
And then the result is negated the result, and going to the gym is completely a waste of time.
And also, just to touch on the discipline is, you know, Mike Tyson has a famous quote, and he says, discipline is doing something you hate, but doing it like you love it. And there's times in the mornings I want to lay in my warm, comfy bed, wrapped up under that duvet when it's cold outside, but I am disciplined, so I get myself out in that gym. Discipline is not about doing things all the time that you're going to enjoy. You're not going to enjoy every single session. You're not going to feel up to it every single time. You know, there's times I go in the gym or go out for a run or whatever. I don't want to do it at that time, but I do it because I'm disciplined and I have a commitment. I made a commitment to myself.
That's the difference.
You know, and that's what gets me through these days when I don't want to do it, because it's not every day you want to do it. You know, Lindsay, you know this, you're also a fitness fanatic, you know.
Definitely. And I always say to people, like, even when you talk about motivation is never enough because it comes and goes. You know, it's never there every single day. And I always say that to people, it's got to be more than that. Like you say, it's got to be disciplined. Same with me, because people always think that I love exercising every day. But just as you said, there are some days that I'm tired or I don't want to, but you just do it because you're disciplined. It just becomes a habit, or, you know.
Absolutely. And it's discipline that's going to win every single time.
Definitely. And the why. It's got to always be bigger, hasn't it? Your why's got to be.
Yeah, you've got to know what your why is, and it's got to be a big enough why to make you want to do it, to make you want to get back up in the morning and get your butt into the gym. Feel free to ask questions, but Conroy, if you were to describe yourself in 3 words, what would happen? 3 words.
3 words.
Just 3.
Passionate, committed, and I would say inspirational.
Perfect. And what is the best piece of advice you've been given?
Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And know that everything that you do, just trust that everything will work out for the best of your good. So that having that mindset for me also is also one of the biggest help for me day to day, because as business owners as well, you know, not only do I face these things in my boxing and my sport, but also in business you experience, you know, the doubts, the setbacks, the things that hasn't worked out, the staff that's not doing what they should be doing,
the contract
that fell through. You know, we constantly face these adversities, but because of the mindset of trusting that everything will always work out in our favor, and know that, you know, I'm believing in ourselves that we'll get through this, or we'll get to the next phase, you know, of what we want, helps a massive amount as well.
I call that principle that you've just talked about, that we apply and use, and it is a state of mind, is the ABC backwards. It's the CBA. It's conceive an idea, believe that you can have it, and then you'll achieve it. So conceive, believe, and achieve. And it's that unwavering faith that you know you can achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. But as soon as you have an element of doubt, you're sending that signal, that vibration out to the universe to say, you don't really want it. You don't think you can have it. So therefore you don't get it. So, you know, in terms of thought process, what you're thinking about, your head and your heart, what you think and what you feel have got to be congruent. They've got to be speaking the same language. They've got to be in tune and in sync and in alignment in order to receive. But we talk a whole load of that on another topic in terms of the law of attraction and the power of the mind. But mindset is key, and that is why we set this platform up. We want to reach as many people as possible, and the 4 key areas on this platform is health, network, money, and mindset. And mindset being the first thing to conquer. You know, I want to thank you guys who are tuned in today, who are watching, because the biggest investment you can make is self-investment and learning all the time, taking each day as a learning opportunity. But investment in self is the biggest thing. I've got some tips on overcoming success blockers. I want to give the viewers some tips that they can take away. And the first one is to discover your subconscious programming. You know, how do you dig deep and find out what's your blueprint on towards your attitude towards things? You know, if we just spoke about money, for example, you know, if I said to you, what are your immediate responses to these words? Rich people. What's your immediate response? Don't think about it. What's your immediate response?
Inspirational.
For the viewers, what TJ, Lindsay, Alicia, what's your immediate response to the word rich people?
I want to be like them.
Okay, that's a good one.
Oh, my response would probably, I don't know. Mine's more just like, wow, like how did they get that rich? You know, I want to know. You know what I mean? I don't actually think anything bad now when I say rich people. I just think, wow, I want to know how they got rich.
And Alicia, is she there? If I said the word money or success or financial freedom, it's those. This is how you
Want
can
it.
get. I want it, yeah. This is how you can discover your subconscious program, because if people's response to the word rich people, and it might be snobs,
Or a negative comment,
or negative word, or then how on earth can you expect to become rich or be a rich person when you have a negative opinion or despise people with money? So the two can't go hand in hand. So sending very mixed messages out to the universe.
Is that quite similar to successful people? Like, for example, if you want to be a successful sports person, it's studying those people who have become successful and how they've got to those destinations, because I'm sure they would have experienced failures along the way, so you can adopt those ways or those mindsets that they've had.
Absolutely. It's, you know, it goes back to why you do what you do. And to be the best you want to be, you'll study those people who were the best, and because you admire them. The second one, a big one for me, is monitoring your self-talk, your thoughts and emotions. So monitoring your self-talk, your thoughts and emotions. Your self-talk is the key to your success, because how you talk to yourself will push you forward or it can hold you back. So self-talk is the key to your success. And you mentioned that self-belief is the most important thing any person can have.
People can tell you're great. People can tell you're amazing. People can tell you that you can do whatever you want to do in the world. But if you don't believe it yourself, more than likely you're never going to take that chance. You're never going to take the opportunity.
But it is quite normal for people to put themselves down. It's just, and say things, to talk to themselves. It's just about turning it around, isn't it?
When you say normal, it's normal for 97% of the people to speak negatively about themselves. But the top 3% of people, those who are successful, you'll find that they actually don't do that. They actually, and if they do it, they quickly correct it. And they correct it with a positive a reaffirming statement that counteracts the negative that they've just said. So yes, we're human, we're all going to make mistakes, we're not going to be perfect, and the slip of the tongue is easy at times, but naturally as human beings we are wired negatively, we are wired to survive, whereas we're here to say life is abundant. Let's not act as if we are surviving, we are living and being. And, you know, it's about raising that awareness. That's my next step, is about raising awareness about how you talk to yourself, what is your self-talk like? Is it a put down, or is it a positive? Is it uplifting? Is it, you know, and raise awareness. And when it is not positive, correct it and reaffirm it with a positive.
And that can happen all the time, you know, we're human being first. And you're gonna have those times when you feel like, you know, it's not gonna work out, or you can't do something, but it's like you said, it's been aware of those thought process and changing it up in your mindset. That's where you then work on yourself, because people say, you know, people think that successful people don't have setbacks and they don't have negative thoughts, or they don't feel they can, you know, they're not going to achieve something, but they have the same feelings and thoughts you do. The only difference is that they take action even though they feel the way they feel.
And that's key, because the use of, you know, using affirmations, for example, just speaking affirmations can help, but affirmation really without action is wishful thinking. Affirmations plus action, but the more you repeat it to yourself, the more you affirm to yourself, the more that you can trick your mind into believing it's your reality. So with affirmations, going there in the mind, visualizing how you want your life to be. You know, if you want to move house, go and explore the houses you want to, you know, go and book those house viewings.
Because that's you taking action.
Because you're taking action, you're letting the universe know exactly what you want.
That's it.
If you want to go and if you want a brand new car, go and test drive the car you want to have. I need to go and test drive a Lamborghini.
You do.
And visualize. You've got to act as if it's real. You've got to put yourself in those scenarios to get those feelings to then, you know, that make you feel it's real, make you feel it's achievable. And the last one is reprogramming your mindset. Once you've taken these steps and start having awareness of what your programming is, what your success blockers are. Is it procrastination? Is it fear? Is it just, you know, lack of knowledge, lack of resources? You know, it could be a number of things.
Yeah, and also not being so hard on yourself. You know, and for me, it took me 2 years, around 18 months to kind of get my body in the shape that it is now, and, you know, continue to do so. But people think, you know, how many years it takes people to put weight on. You know, someone might take 5 years to gain whatever, but they think they're gonna lose it in 12 weeks or 12, you know, these fast diet plans. You know, don't try to lose the weight that quick, because it's taken you years and years to put that weight on. It's a complete lifestyle change. You know, don't look for the quick fix. Look for the long term, the long term processes. Changing your lifestyle, changing your habits. How are you eating your food? Are you consciously aware of what you're actually eating? Are you you know, just
grabbing something on the run and then realize, what did I eat today?
Yeah. So it's a complete lifestyle change that we want to look for. And this, you know, journey that we're sharing with you, you know, it's a long-term process. There's no end. You know, and don't be so hard on yourself if you had a bad day, but just be aware of it, change it, and put it right for the next time. You know, give yourself the opportunity to be the best you can be.
And remember that failing is an opportunity to learn. You didn't get that big W, you got the big L for learning, and learning from our mistakes and coming back stronger. Because I know you have the ability to go and smash that championship and go and become national champion 2024. Two-time national champion. There we go.
What happens if the people that you're surrounded by are your doubters? So you've already got some self-doubt that you're trying to overcome, but the people you're surrounding around are like your family, so you can't walk away from them, and they're the people that are saying, don't start a business, stick with your normal job, or you'll not be able to do that, you're not well enough for that, or whatever it might be, that is your stopper.
So if that's your success blocker, you got to make a decision. You know, what is it? Okay, I can only use me as an example. And someone quietly, I think Jeff Bezos quietly said this the other day. He says, when he's 80 years old, because what he did, he re-engineered his thought process to his success. He says when he's 80 years old, he wants to look back and be happy that he's taken those chances, even though if the business didn't work out. He wanted to look back and be thankful that he took the chances, he took the risks, and he tried. That was his thought process when he started Amazon. He didn't want to look back and then regretted not taking an opportunity. So if you want to look at it from that angle, you've got to make a decision for yourself that are you going to allow the people around you to stop you pursuing something that you really want to do? And then think back when you're 80 years old, you're going to look back and you're going to tell your great grandkids that, I didn't start this because my family didn't want me to start it. Or you can say, I did this even though my family didn't want me to do this, or they weren't motivating me, or they weren't encouraging me. So that's two messages you could share. One is going to be very inspiring and motivating to your grandkids, but one is going to be like, actually, I might take that belief on and stop them from doing what they want to do also. So I think about my next generations, not just myself. And going back in the ring for me was not only a message to myself, but to my kids and their kids, because they're going to have an amazing story to say, do you know what? My dad did this when he was 30 odd years old, when he was written off, told he was this and told he was that, but he stepped back in there and conquered his fear. And look, this is what he did. That's going to inspire my next generation to go on and pursue whatever they want to pursue. So look at it from that angle, and I think that will probably help making decisions.
But also, if you're hanging around, if you've got people in your family that it could be your other half who's negative, who's toxic, who's the negative one, always the pessimistic one, and it's not about walking away from them, it's about you continue to be strong and hold your ground and pursue your dream. And you never know, you can't change that person. You need to just keep focusing on yourself, focusing on your dreams, focusing on your pursuits, and in the hope that your positivity will shed some light on them, because you can't change them. You can choose as a person, if you can choose to dismiss what you're hearing, what you're surrounding yourself with. And I don't mean walking away, I'm talking about not responding, not engaging in those kind of conversations if it's negative. You have that choice. It's going back to the two greatest gifts we've got is money and time. How do you want to be spending your time? Moaning, complaining, listening to gossip, whatever it is, negativity, those kind of things are not going to help you become successful.
But also, just to add to that, Michelle, by having a mindset that everything will always work out in your best favor, whatever that may be, is a deep-rooted conviction and feeling that will help you to get through those phases, no matter what the outcome is, whether it's a relationship, business opportunity, whatever it is knowing that whatever you step towards to achieve, it will always work out in your favor.
And having that trust.
Yeah.
Unwavering faith and doubt. But do the viewers have any questions? Because I'm just conscious of time. I don't know if the time? Is that,
we're nearly there.
Are we nearly there? Because the recording will end in 1 hour. But you've had an opportunity to ask questions. Do you have any questions? I'm going to just lower Lindsay's hand because I think it's raised.
Sorry.
Is your hand raised still, Lindsay? Have you got a question?
No, is it? I don't know. Let me know. Sorry, I wouldn't even know what I'm doing.
Has anyone got any
For
questions?
some reason, the setup's just different when I clicked on it. So sorry, guys. Just back to what you've just saying then about negativity and things. I know for me, because I stepped away from my job in 2020, that's when I started my own business, and it was hard because at the time when I said I wanted to go into outdoor training with COVID, there were many people who actually thought I was crazy. That they were like, "Oh, no one's going to want to train outside. No one's going to want to be outside in the winter," and it was hard because I had probably more people say that to me than more people said, "Yeah, go for it." Obviously my other half's really supportive. But I just thought, you know what, I can make it work. And touch wood, I have, people, it can chuck down with rain. I can still get 20 odd people like last Saturday. But it is hard when you have a lot of people around you, sometimes giving you, and you just have to, what I've learned now in the last few years is I just don't listen to it anymore. I've just learned to believe in myself, whereas I didn't many years ago.
Absolutely.
And just to help you with this, like that is a normal thing. Having 80% of people, Lindsay, will never achieve their true success. 80% of people never be happy the way they want to be. So you having that feedback from so many people is not it's a normal thing.
It's not a surprise.
Yeah.
But what you've done is the right thing, is by dismissing it, choosing consciously not to listen to it, not to take it on board, and to dismiss it, let it go in one ear and out the other, because it's beneath the value you set for yourself.
No, definitely. And I don't know, it's just like really changed, like when you say, like, you know, when you change your network and you become more around positive people, and I've met some amazing people for the last 2 years who've really helped me along the way, and I don't know, your life, it all just starts changing.
It does, and everything starts to align just as it's meant to.
So yeah.
Alicia, you've got your hand raised. Are you unmuted? Let me check. Let me put Alicia allowed to talk. Alicia, if you just unmute yourself. Hello.
Unmute for ages. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to tune in there. Listening to you guys talk, as always, is inspirational. I find that a lot of the things that you're saying resonates with me on my journey, yet I still don't feel like I'm quite where I feel like I should be in my mind's eye. Like there are a lot of things happening, but yet there seems to be, excuse me.
Can I stop you?
Go ahead.
The first success blocker I've identified in this 30-second conversation with you is your need to compare where you think you should be at this stage, wherever you are, is this need to compare, to say, I don't feel I am where I should be at this point in time. And that's the number one success blocker right there.
Okay, because I say why I say that, because in my mind, there's this me versus me attitude where it's like the old version of myself, I'm comparing, okay, so I'm doing better than where I was last year, or, you know, my mindset has shifted from there. But then when I project myself forward in terms of where I expected to be in the next, let's say, year or two or whatever, and I'm not there yet, it's kind of like of that battle between that mindset, that doubt that creeps in and things like that. So a lot of the things that you're saying resonates with where I'm at on my journey, yet there's still that discord. How do you deal with that discord? Do you continue? Go ahead.
Listen, obviously you know KFC and you know McDonald's.
Yes.
Okay, so Ray Kroc, he was 52 when he stumbled across the McDonald brothers and convinced them to franchise McDonald's.
Yeah.
McDonald's is what it is today, as we know. Colonel Sanders, I think he was 64 when he got rejected by so many other, you know, restaurants about his KFC chicken, and one person believed in him. And then, as we know, KFC is one of the global chains of fast foods. So there is no time, there is no date or age for when success is ready to come to you.
Or best before date.
Or best before date. Your dreams and aspiration will happen when the time is right. When everything is aligned in the way it should be, then things will start to flow to you.
Right.
My advice would be, stop trying to force it to happen in your time. You should be enjoying the journey of what you're doing, you know, gain as much experience as you possibly can, having fun while you do it, and just trust that the things will work out in your favor.
The other success blocker I picked up on, Alicia, when you just spoke then, and that was unraveling to me as you were speaking, that element of doubt, because number one is the comparison, I should be where I want to be, I'm not where I want to be. And then it's that element of doubt then creeps in. As soon as that element of doubt, and you allow that doubt to creep in, you are then sending that mixed message to the universe to say, I'm not ready. And do you know how many years me and Conroy used to say, this is going to be our year, we're excited for the year ahead, and the year would go, and the next year would, do you know how this is going to be our year? Be our year. And TJ would know and vouch for me that we said ages ago, Reactivate is a multi-million-pound business, and we're going to have it up on our wall. Just because we wasn't there that year, it, you know, it's happening. It's happened, but we kept on. We strive for more. We that goal was still there.
And the excitement was still
And
there.
the excitement was still there.
Every
We
year.
weren't disappointed at the end of every year going, oh, we didn't achieve it.
No.
We were like one step closer and one step closer, and felt that excitement because we knew we had this unwavering faith that it would happen.
Okay, so then I would have to put in the aspect of, because obviously I feel as though from listening to what you guys are saying there, everybody gets the doubt, the thought in their mind, but what you say with your mouth then will consider the frequency that you're sending out to the universe. Is that what you're saying to me? So you might have the doubt, but you don't speak on the doubt. Sorry.
Also feeling it and thinking it, feeling it and speaking it, they're all powerful. And writing it down is more powerful, but thinking it and feeling it. If you're thinking this is going to work, I don't know if I've got it in me anymore. Whatever it is that you may be thinking, those doubts that creep in. In the moment you're saying to the universe, oh, it's like a plant about to grow, and it goes woo and goes back down into the soil.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe because I'm thinking that. Go ahead, Conroy.
Do you love what you do?
Absolutely, I love what I do,
That
and that's
love,
why I feel like.
Yeah, and that love for what you do should be that driving force through everything that you're doing. And like Michelle says, your time will come, and when it comes, it'll come in abundance. But you gotta allow it to happen for you. Don't force it. Don't think you should be there. Because when you get to that destination, you're probably going to think, I should be here.
It's a journey. It's not a destination. Yeah. Don't suddenly arrive at success. Stop. People pursue success when you should be attracting success. It's like trying to get butterflies in your garden. You've got to create the garden to attract the butterflies. You can't chase those butterflies into your garden.
And that's when the feeling then becomes a bit, the feeling will be different.
Negative.
Yeah.
The feeling is a battle against.
And I go back to my boxing match 10 years ago. If I'd have lost that boxing match 10 years ago, I'd have been so angry and bitter and ill feelings for months. Whereas this time I feel
at peace
and happy and hungry and determined and just so vibrant. It's not affected me in a negative way one bit, but 10 years ago, it would have done. So
what shifted? Your mind.
Absolutely. And I'm enjoying the journey. I'm loving doing it, what I'm doing. It excites me every time I train and things like that. So it's that whole shift in mindset that would allow you opportunities when you're ready to receive it. Not because you're just wanting it and feeling as if you should be somewhere where you are, because that's where you're meant to be right now. But you can attract where you want to be by changing how you're feeling towards where you are right now. Yeah. That's what you got to do. You've got to see the blessings in where you are right now, because there's people wish they were where you are. You see what I mean? There's people wish that they'd be where you are right now. So just be at peace where you are while you're building where you want to be.
While you strive for what you want.
I hear that.
I hope tonight's conversation has helped. I hope it's helped look at ways what our success blockers are. Could be time, could be resources, lack of knowledge, procrastination, fear, a number of things that stop you from achieving your success. And, self-talk, self-belief, confidence, a lack of confidence, all of those things will become someone's success blocker. Comparison kills happiness. Comparison kills joy. Your journey is your journey and no one else's journey. And you've got to do what makes you happy. And success, I'm in my flow. Success is achieving the things that you set out to achieve. And that's your own personal things. No one can tell you whether you're successful or not. It's your own personal journey. And it's a journey, not a destination. You don't just suddenly say, I'm there. It's an ever-evolving thing. And I hope that today we've talked about how to remove some success blockers by first, looking at what your subconscious programming is, being aware of your self-talk and your thoughts and your feelings, raising awareness to those things, using affirmations and visualization, and then reprogramming that mindset. So I hope, you know, listening to Conroy, you shared some inspiring stuff here.
Yeah, and I hope you know what I've shared has given you some nuggets in terms of your journey. And I just want to leave you with this: when you believe in yourself, nothing can impede what you want to go for. That's my last tip to you guys.
Self-belief is the key to your success. So we want to fill you up with as much self-belief as possible. So get yourself on these courses. Thank you so much for investing in you, because the best investment is self-investment, and we've done lots of it. We've had mentors, we've gone to seminars, we've gone to the workshops, we listen to podcasts. We are growing and learning every day, and we're here to just impart this knowledge and share it with you.
And join the community as well in the group. Feel free to join the community.
The great community.
And yeah, we'll look forward to working with you along this journey and growing together.
Thanks,
TJ.
guys.
TJ?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you very much. It's been very inspiring to listen to you, Conroy, and to know that, you know, everybody has that self-doubt, and just to keep going through it. And like you say, you've got to get out there and go through it and step through it. And know that self-discipline is about getting out there and doing it, and you get the rewards that you are showing us all. You know, it's a real inspiration for us all. And good luck for your national championships in 2024. We're really excited for you,
sharing the success with
and I
that.
can't wait.
Thank you so much, guys.
Be committed to you. Be committed to
Thank
your
you,
journey.
guys.
And thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.